What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown video for UFC Vegas 44. We have Jose Aldo going against Rob Font, and we have 14 fights on this card. We're supposed to have 15, but we did lose Mirzakhanov and Vandera, and I did lose a bet. As always, we're going to talk about these fights from a betting perspective and a betting perspective only. If you do want a further, more in-depth breakdown on why I like which fighter and why I'm betting what, I did post a full card breakdown and prediction video on Tuesday, and then also went live on Friday after the weigh-ins, discussing the weigh-ins as well. So, before we get into the video, as always, you guys can please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, getting really close to 13K subscribers. I think we're like 5 away at time of recording, so it would be awesome to hit that by fight time. Really do appreciate all the support week in and week out. If you do want to support me more, you can check out the Patreon. The link is below. I'm going to end the year with a bang here, have 2 big plays already for next week, and looking for potentially my next max bet next week as well. Loving next week from a betting perspective, but this week especially have a lot of plus money bets. It should be fun. But yeah, looking to definitely end the year on a very high note. Also with the Patreon, you get access to all the stats you need for each and every fighter, access to the betting article that includes a Hail Mary parlay, access to Discord, all that great stuff. Just lots of information, and it's only $10 a month, so please check that out. The link is in the description below. And yeah, I say we get into it now. So we have the very first fight of the night. We have Luis Smolka going against Vince Morales. Luis Smolka minus 150, Vince Morales plus 130. And I do like Luis Smolka here. I was actually getting really close to betting him. I did find something that I like a little bit more, and that is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision. Plus 100, I have 1 unit on it. That line is still currently there. I even see it plus 105 on some books. The reason being is, Smolka's kind of a killer be killed fighter. And you can take a look at the finish rate here. An 89% finish rate for Luis Smolka, 70% for Vince Morales. Smolka has been finished 3 times, all by submission. He has never been knocked out, but he has been dropped several times. He's been hurt a lot. I think the fight doesn't go, kind of covers both sides. I think the most likely scenario is Smolka inside the distance, which is plus 210. I don't hate that. I don't hate Smolka by submission plus 400. I think he's going to have a massive advantage on the mat, and we have seen Vince Morales sub twice. But yeah, I took the fight doesn't go to decision, plus 100. The picks, Luis Smolka, and I think he does get it done inside the distance. Moving on, Alex Verona, Mickey Gall. Yeah, I saw Alex Verona minus 190 earlier in the week. I decided to pass. I think it's a solid spot for him, though. He's going to have the advantage pretty much everywhere outside of youth, outside of, Gall's going to be the much bigger fighter. He's going to have a reach advantage, a height advantage, all that stuff. But, Morono's going to be the guy that's more experienced. He's fought the better competition. Morono, the better striker. Morono, probably even the better grappler. Morono's a legit BJJ black belt. I think he's like a second-degree black belt. The problem is he chooses not to use that grappling for some reason. I don't know why. If I knew for a fact that Morono would come out here, go for takedowns, take down Mickey Gall, kind of like Diego Sanchez did, I would 100%, yeah, I'd bet him at minus 230, but I have a strong feeling that Alex Morono comes out here. He's probably not going to wrestle, which he should, and he's probably going to try to outstrike Gall, and I think he does. But, Gall has made massive improvements with his striking. Gall has shown some power in his last couple fights as well. So I think Morono wins. It's just I wish he would, go to that wrestling route. He has been going to it a little bit more, but still, not enough for my liking. Give me Alex Morono to win, but there's really nothing I even look at here. Morono by decision plus 125. I think that's how he wins, but it's going to be a fight I do stay away from a betting perspective. Bryan Barberena, Darian Weeks. Darian Weeks coming in on about, I think, like 4 or 5 days notice, and I was all ready to bet against Bryan Barberena. I want to fade this guy so bad. I'm not sure if Darian Weeks is the guy to do it, though. The experience is the biggest thing for me. Bryan Barberena has fought some of the best guys in the division. A very close fight. Just a couple fights ago with Vicente Luque. We see what Luque is doing nowadays. But I do think he's done. I think he's, washed. He has not looked good. Getting dropped by Jason Witt is not a good look whatsoever. Darian Weeks, coming in on short notice. I'm not all that impressed with the guy. The striking's okay. The wrestling's okay. He's okay. But this is going to be a massive step up in competition for him. I think I'm going to pass here from a betting perspective on a side. But what I did bet was the under 2.5 rounds. I got it minus 125. I have 1.25 units on it. It's around there on some books. I see minus 125. I see minus 140. So the line has not moved all that much. I think someone's getting finished here. Darian Weeks, all of his fights come before the 3rd round in his professional career. Of course, he does have some amateur fights, but in his 5 professional fights, all of them ending by the 2nd round. And Bryan Barberena is a finisher in his own right. Bryan Barberena with a 80% finish rate. He has been finished in 3 of his 8 losses. Typically a very durable guy, but I think that durability is starting to diminish. It would not shock me if Weeks came out here and just starched Verona in the first round. And it would not shock me if Weeks, you know, kind of gassed out as the fight went on, especially coming in on short notice, and we have seen him slow down before. So I think it's either Weeks early, Verona late. Give me the under 2.5 to cover both sides there. Claudio Puelles going against Chris Gritzmacher. I did bet Puelles a while ago. I bet him after the card last week or 2 weeks ago at this point. Got him at plus 120. I have 1 unit on it. The line has about flipped now. I see Puelles on some books at minus 130 even. And yeah, I think it's a close fight. It's a close fight. I think, you know, Puelles probably should be the slight favorite here. He's going to have, first of all, a massive age advantage. He's going to be 10 years younger, a massive height and reach advantage as well, training at a very good camp in Sanford MMA, whereas Gritzmacher, he's training somewhere in North Carolina. I've seen, you know, him on Instagram, you know, training in his garage, training in his driveway, where you have Puelles training with some of the best guys in the world at Sanford, and Puelles is only 25 years old. I think he's going to be making massive improvements, and we have seen a lot of those massive improvements. You know, Gritzmacher, he throws a lot of volume, but his takedown defense is very bad, 61%. He's able to get taken down very easily. Solid get-up game, but, you know, Puelles is a very good grappler. I believe he's a black belt in BJJ. I think he was able to get this fight down to the mat. I could see a submission, or at least controlling Gritzmacher. He did a very good job at controlling Jordan Levitt in his last fight. Puelles, his wrestling is actually surprisingly solid. He does average a little over 3 takedowns per 15 minutes, and he has a really good fight IQ. He knows what he's good at, and that's grappling. He's not going to strike with Gritzmacher, so yeah, you're giving me the much younger guy with the height and reach advantage, a guy that, you know, training at Sanford MMA, a guy that's going to have a grappling advantage at plus 120. I'll take that all day, but the line has moved since then. But yeah, 1 unit, plus 120. I think that Puelles gets it done. The sub prop is very intriguing, plus 475, Puelles by submission. Gritzmacher has been submitted 3 times in his 4 losses, so that's interesting. I think Puelles wins, probably by submission. I could see a decision as well, but yeah, that submission prop is juicy. But ultimately, I do have a straight bet on there at plus 120. Alonso Minifield, William Knight. Minifield minus 150, William Knight plus 130. I want to bet Minifield so bad, but I think the best move here is the pass. You just can't, I can't trust this guy. Yes, he looked okay against Ed Herman. His cardio looked better, but you know, we got to stop and think, and that's Ed Herman. Ed Herman's not going to push a pace. Ed Herman's very slow. Ed Herman did not make Minifield work. It was kind of a fight that was at Minifield's pace, and he was comfortable going 3 rounds. My worry is what happens if William Knight pushes Minifield against the cage, kind of like Devin Clark did, you know, makes him work. What's Minifield going to look then? Like, he was gassed. He was gassed in the Devin Clark fight. In the first round, he gassed out. Showed good takedown defense, but still the gas tick concerns me. Like in the OSP fight, he looked off. He barely threw anything in the first round. Second round comes around, he still does nothing. He blitzes in and gets caught by OSP. Like, I have a hard time trusting Alonso Minifield, but I do think he's the much better fighter. William Knight has like a 34% striking defense. I think Minifield knocks him out, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to bet the money line on Minifield. What I don't hate is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision. I haven't played it yet. And you can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers. If I do add this bet, it will be on there. But as of now, no bet, because I'm kind of waiting on the line. A lot of money's coming in on the over 2.5, and the fight goes to decision. I think there's a pretty solid chance this does finish. I'm not sure why the line's where it's at. You know, Minifield, 90% finish rate. William Knight, 90% finish rate. Both guys are extremely dangerous. I mean, maybe I can see a scenario where they hug each other for 15 minutes, but I think someone's going out here. Both guys with a ton of power. And both guys are kind of questioning their durability. I mean, getting knocked out by OSP is not good. So, yeah, I mean, don't hate that fight doesn't go to decision, minus 175. Under 2.5, I see it some places at minus 140. I really don't hate that at all. But ultimately, I will pick William Knight with not a lot of confidence. Cheyenne Velismus, Mallory Martin. This is going to be a big straight-up pass. Velismus minus 185. No, thank you. If anything, like it'd be a dog pass or situation with Mallory Martin here, plus 160. But do I want to invest money on this fight? No, I do not. Like you can't even bet like the fight goes to decision because it's like minus 230, minus 240. So yeah, this is a pass for me. I'll take Cheyenne Velismus, but with 0 confidence. I'm not betting at minus 190. Manel Kopp, Zalgazuma Gulov. Manel Kopp, I really don't understand this line. Minus 285. It makes no sense. I mean, I love Kopp. I'm a big fan of the guy. But, you know, he is somebody that if he does not get the finish, he's not looking minus 285. I mean, he is so low volume. It's so frustrating to watch this guy. And it's even more frustrating to bet this guy because you're watching him. He's just not throwing anything. He's doing a lot of dancing. He's a great dancer. He does a lot of movement. It's good. It's good. Just he needs to mix in more volume. If he mixes in some volume, if he starts throwing more, he's going to be somebody to look out for. But there's just no point. Minus 285 is nuts to me. I mean, even like as a parlay piece, I wouldn't go there. If anything, I would bet Manel Kape inside the distance plus 200, because you take a look at it. This guy's an all-out finisher. He doesn't win decisions. And you wonder why, right? Because he doesn't throw anything to win a decision. But no, Manel Kape, 94% finish rate. The dude has not won a decision in 13 fights. 2013 was his last decision. So you're getting a guy that's minus 300 just about, has inside the distance line at plus 200. I think that is interesting. I don't know if it's enough for me to pull the trigger, because Zhalgas is very tough. Zhalgas has only been knocked out once, but you got to think if Manel Kape does not finish this fight, it's going to look close. So in all honesty, like if anything, I'm tempted. I'm tempted on plus 245 Zhalgas. That is nuts. But I think the move is just going to be a pass here. So as of now, it's a pass. But Manel Kape plus 200 by finish, that stuck out. And then even Zhalgas at the money line is very intriguing, because if Manel Kape does not finish, there is no way he's looking minus 300 here. Jake Matthews, Jeremiah Wells. Yep, I'm on Jeremiah Wells here as a dog. I bet him at plus 164. I have 1 unit on it. Guy from Renzo Gracie, Philly. Those guys have been on a roll. I made the mistake, going against them last card. I'm not going to make the same mistake here. Training partners with Sean Brady. And just, fun fact, Sean Brady just beat Jake Matthews. And, Jeremiah Wells is no Sean Brady. He's probably more dangerous than Sean Brady on the feet, but, Sean Brady's the better grappler by a significant margin. Sean Brady's probably the better wrestler, the more technical wrestler. But, Jeremiah Wells, he is very, very strong. He's very, very powerful. And I like a lot of this guy's game. I mean, this guy is a guy that he's jacked. You'll take a look at him and you think, oh, this guy has, about a round of cardio, but that's not true. This guy actually, for his size, has very good cardio. I've seen him go 5 rounds before, no problem. I've seen him go 3 rounds before, no problem. His cardio is good, and this might be a hot take, but I think he has the better cardio than Matthews here, who we've seen consistently, slow down as the fight goes on. On the feet, Matthews is the more technical striker. He's probably the better striker, but Jeremiah Wells is more explosive. He's going to be landing the harder shots. He blitzes in with combinations, landing very hard. So striking close, and then both guys are BJJ black belts. Wells, Renzo Gracie, Philly, BJJ black belt, legit black belt, and a very strong wrestler with a very strong takedown defense. It's a close fight. Jake Matthews, of course, is going to have the experience. He's going to have the level of competition. But you take a look at who Jake Matthews has beaten in the UFC. I want to say he's like 10 or 11 UFC wins around there, and only one of those guys is still in the UFC. Like, his wins are very suspect. And the only guy that's still in the UFC that he has beaten was the Leech. So, I mean, his wins have aged horrendously. But yeah, I'm going to take the dog shot on Wells. I don't get this line. I think it should be a lot closer. Should Matthews be favorited? Probably, but I think Wells can come out here and pull off another upset like he did in his last fight. So give me Jeremiah Wells, 1 unit, plus 164. Dusko Todorovic going against Maki Pitolo. And I feel like this fight should just be a straight pick. I mean, you cannot trust Dusko at all, and you cannot trust Maki Pitolo at all. Dusko was a guy that I was never high on ever. I always thought this guy was kind of a fraud. I mean, on the Contender Series, I was never impressed. Of course, he got the Contender Series bump. People were really hyped on this guy. He goes out there and beats Daquan Townsend, which is obviously not impressive at all. And then I think he's a favorite against Punahele Soriano. The dude gets starched like 5 times in 1 round. And it just exploited all the holes you see in his game. Watching tape on this guy. This guy has the worst striking defense you'll ever see. I mean, go back and watch the Soriano fight. His hands are down to his sides. He gets dropped by Soriano. He gets back up, and his hands are even lower. Gets dropped again. I mean, this guy's striking defense is horrendous. He leaves his chin up in the air. I'm now starting to question his durability. I'm questioning his heart, because he showed up to the Gregory Rodriguez fight, and it looked like he didn't want to be there. Landed only 36 strikes in 3 rounds. Landed at a 30% accuracy, barely threw anything. He just looked off. He did not look like himself in that Gregory Rodriguez fight. If he shows up here against Maki Pitolo, I think he gets beat pretty handedly. But with that said, you cannot trust Maki Pitolo at all. This guy is untrustworthy. I mean, if you lose to Calvin Potter, you cannot be trusted. But, it's a 50-50 fight for me. Both guys I can't trust. Why not take the dog and Maki Pitolo? And that's what I did. 1 unit, Maki total plus 145. I think he has a lot of advantages in this fight. You know, the striking, obviously you favor the volume of Dusko, but when you're so freaking hittable, you know, that's going to open up a lot of things for Maki. And then also the 50% takedown defense at Dusko. We've seen Maki, you know, as of late, mix in that wrestling. Maki is about a 50% takedown accuracy, whereas Dusko has about a 5%. So yeah, it's a very close fight. I think it should be lined up pick 'em. Give me the plus 145 dog and Maki 1 unit on it. Brendan Allen, Chris Curtis. Brendan Allen minus 320, Chris Curtis plus 275. So I have a parlay. This is this week and next week 269. Amanda Nunes, Brandon Allen minus 225, 2.25 units. What I did was I'm hoping Brendan Allen gets the job done here, and that's going to therefore turn Nunes into a minus 220 favorite next week. That's the plan. That's the goal. I think it's a great fight for Allen. I know a lot of people are on Curtis. Curtis pulled off the upset last time. I think it's a great spot for Allen. If you guys saw the weigh-ins, Allen's going to be much, much bigger. He's going to have a significant height advantage. He's going to, you know, be the much younger fighter as well. He's fought great competition in the UFC and outside as well. He's going to have a massive striking improvements that he's learning from Sanford MMA. We see it every single fight. I think he's a better striker. I think he's a better grappler. You know, the striking it's close, but you got to favor Allen there. Yeah, give me Allen here. I think I'll make it. If he went to the takedown route here, Allen, and took down Chris Curtis, I think he'd make it look so easy. But I have a funny feeling that he does not do that and tries to outstrike Curtis. And at that point, I still think he wins pretty handedly. But if he wrestles, it's such an easy path to victory. So I'm gonna take Brendan Allen to win inside the distance. But I do have him in that parlay with Amanda Nunes, and yeah, 2.25 units on that. So give me Allen there. Jimmy Crute, Jamal Hill. No play on this yet. Very tempted on Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute, 80% takedown accuracy, averaging 5 takedowns per 15 minutes. I'm not sold at all in the slightest on Jamal Hill's ground game, on his takedown defense. He finally got exposed. I've been waiting for it ever since the Stosic fight where Stosic took him down 6 times easily, no resistance. Jimmy Crute's a better wrestler than Stosic. Jimmy Crute is a 20 times better grappler than Stosic. You know, Jimmy Crute is a guy that he went out there and subbed Paul Craig. Nobody subs Paul Craig. But Jimmy Crute, he did that. This guy's wrestling is legit. He's young. He's improving. He's hungry. His BJJ is phenomenal. His striking is improving. You got to give Jamal Hill the striking advantage. He's going to be the bigger fighter. He's going to have a reach advantage. But Jamal Hill's striking defense is extremely suspect. 45% striking defense, leaves his chin up in the air. Stosic hit him with some big shots. So even on the feet, like, I don't think Crute is in serious trouble, but if Crute fights smart here and takes it down to the mat, I think he has a pretty solid path to victory and gets a submission here. So I do have a play here, but it might be 2 by when it's all said and done. I have Jimmy Crute wins by submission plus 380, half a unit. That line has moved quite a bit. I think it's plus 300 on some books, which is still pretty solid. Plus 250 on Bet Online there, but yeah, I think you know, Jimmy Crute has a very good chance of submitting him. And then I also might add on to the Crute money line. I'm hoping more money comes in on Hill. Could have got Crute minus 160. He's now minus 170. I'm going to wait it out. But yeah, check my Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers. I might be adding some Jimmy Crute. All right. Leonardo Santos, Clay Guida. Santos minus 185, Clay Guida plus 160. And what I'm going to start doing on my social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, throughout the week, I'm going to post, you know, either a bet or two. And do a little breakdown and then post the line I got it at the time. And I did that today. I posted a little breakdown for Leonardo Santos. He was minus 165 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I thought, you know, now would be a great time to implement that. And yeah, I had no clue why the line went to minus 165. I think that was like the best line all week. And just out of nowhere, it went to minus 165. I had to jump on for 2 units. So you have 2 units on Leonardo Santos minus 165. The line is now back to minus 185, where it probably should be, or even wider. Like, I more so agree with the opener at minus 260. But either way, in that breakdown, I talked about a lot of advantages for Santos. He's going to be, you know, the younger fighter in terms of fight years. Clay Guida is going to be his 57th fight, whereas Santos, I think this is going to be like his 24th or 25th fight. Santos is a year older, though. Clay Guida is turning 40 in a couple of days. Santos is going to have a massive, massive size advantage. If you guys saw the weigh-in, Santos is going to be much bigger. Height advantage, reach advantage, striking advantage. I mean, we got to talk about this. He went, Clay Guida, 3 rounds, Mark Madsen, outstruck by the numbers in every single round. That is not good. Olympic wrestler Mark Madsen outstrikes you in every single round. what do you think, Leonardo Santos is going to do? Who's a much, much better striker than Madsen. It's not even close. The grappling, it's in favor of Santos by a mile. The only advantage I give Clay Guida is going to be the cardio. But I really don't think we're going to have to worry about that. I think Santos finishes Guida early. Guida has been finished 12 times. We've seen him hurt. We've seen him submitted 10 times. So yeah, I like Santos quite a bit. I know it's hard to be confident in a 41-year-old, but he is fighting a 40-year-old with 58 fights under his belt. Santos, 2 units, minus 165. And then also Santos to win in rounds 1 or 2, plus 310, half a unit. I think if he wins inside the distance, it will be in rounds 1 or rounds 2. If it does get extended to that 3rd round, I will have some concerns, but I'm 2.5 units invested in on Santos, and he might even make or break my night there. So yeah, I like Santos quite a bit. I think it gets it done over Guida. Rafael Fiziev, Brad Riddell. I'll keep it short here. Close fight. I mean, flip a coin. I can't. I don't know how somebody can be confident really on either side here. I'd probably just take the plus money on Brad Riddell, if anything, but I'm going to pass here. I think it does go to decision. Over is great, but it's so juiced. There's no point even playing it at this point, so I'm going to pass. The picks for Riddell, no confidence, but if I was forced to make a bet, it would be that plus money there. Rob Font, Jose Aldo, same thing here. I think it's a close fight. I think the line's accurate. I did a main event deep dive with Uncle Weezy on Monday, like usual, and usually we go through the betting, and usually we talk about a spot that we like or a couple spots that stick out. And I went through it. I was like, no props stick out, no totals stick out, no overs, no unders, no fight goes or doesn't go. And even like the side, like Rob Font does not stick out. I think the line even could be slightly closer, maybe like a minus 125 Font. So yeah, no action on the main event for me. If I had to pick something, I guess it would be Font, but I feel really bad about laying chalk on Font here against Jose Aldo. I don't want to count him out. I mean, Jose Aldo surprised a lot of people in his last fight against Munoz. He's not done. If you think he's done, I think you're wrong. I think he has a little bit left in the tank. But I'll pick Rob Font. I just can't be confident enough to bet it. So I'll quickly go over my bets here. Leonardo Santos, 2 units, minus 165. I posted that on Twitter, Instagram on Friday. Maki Bitolo, plus 145, 1 unit. Jeremiah Wells, plus 164, 1 unit. Claudio Poiles, plus 121 unit. I had a half unit bet on Jared Vandera. That is canceled. Jim Crute wins by submission, half unit, plus 380. Smolka Morales fight doesn't go to the decision, plus 101 unit. Santos wins in either round 1 or round 2, plus 310, half a unit. Barberena Weeks under 2.5 rounds, minus 125, 1.25 units. And then a parlay, Brendan Allen, Amanda Nunes. I might look like a fish if this loses, but I do like it. Minus 225, 2.25 units. The spots I was kind of looking at was going to be Jimmy Crute, potential money line play. I'm really hoping more money comes in on Hill. Being a little bit greedy here. And then also Minifield, William Knight fight doesn't go or the under. Those are 2 plays that I'm like on the edge on potentially betting. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Instagram, DFS by the numbers. Like I said, I'm going to start posting, a bet here or there on there. So make sure you do follow us. You're not missing on that. Post a little breakdown with it. If you do want early access to my bets, I do have 2 for next week already. Patreon down, the link in the description below. The most popular option, the betting option, $10 a month. Lots of great stuff there. I'm working on a lot of new things for the new year. Working on a new model as well, trying to get that going. And then just a lot of new stuff. My website's coming out next month as well. So lots of great stuff coming. Appreciate all the support week in and week out. Leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. And let's cash. Let's cash here. Looking to end the year on a high note. Let's go out with a bang. This card's solid. Next card's amazing. And just ready to make some money. So that's about it, guys. Good luck, and let's make some money for UFC Vegas 44.